you can't step into a space of abundance, of having things you've never had, or being a person you've never been, unless your mind gets there first.
Okay, so we're here with another podcast, and today our guest is Miss Noelle Evans. Noelle, how are you doing today?
Oh my gosh, amazing.
Amazing. Outstanding.
Just fantastic. Yeah, I've got a vacation tomorrow, feeling amazing today. Life's amazing.
Life's amazing. Okay, cool. But yeah, so basically what this series is for anybody watching, this is a series where I interview entrepreneurs across the world and basically ask them questions, interview them about how they got started, where they are now, and what their plans are for the future. And, hearing these stories for the people watching, this will give you some insights on, how to become an entrepreneur or how to become a successful entrepreneur, such as Noelle over here. And luckily, I get to interview Noelle before she becomes a multi-billionaire, because that's where she's headed.
You're lucky. You're early.
I'm early.
Good job.
If I were to ask you to do this podcast 10 years from now, I would be talking to your assistant, not directly.
Well, I'm sorry. I have too many pieces in my ear. I have too many people wanting to.
Okay, but anyways, Noelle Evans, thank you so much for joining the podcast. To be honest, I don't even know what the name of this podcast is, but whatever it is, it's going to be a good podcast anyways.
Oh, there we go. Taking action before we have all the answers.
Yeah,
speaking my language.
Sounds like an entrepreneur. Okay, cool. But yeah, basically, I just want to interview you a little and, get to know exactly what you do and how you help people and where you came from and all that jazz. So you cool to get started?
Oh, yes.
Okay, awesome. So I guess my first question is really, what do you do now? And I guess how old are you, first and foremost? Let me just ask you that question.
So you're starting off strong. First question, how old are you? Nice.
Generally you never want to ask a woman how old they are. But in this case, I want everybody to know, because I want them to just see, at such a young age, you've already achieved so much success. That's all.
Yeah, you're right. It's a strong point. So we'll reveal that one. Yeah, I'm 23.
23 years old. And what do you do?
Oh, so I help people build wealth, and I also help women step into their divine femininity and be wildly successful. They are not mutually exclusive, but they can feel that way sometimes.
Okay. So do you help just women build wealth, or you help just anybody build wealth?
Yeah. So I have lots of different clients. I have male and female clients for wealth building, but my passion point is helping women. Again, do both, be feminine and make a lot of money. Yeah.
And we talked about this when we were in Utah, about this divine femininity, right? But before we dive in, because I know, once I start talking about your passion, you're gonna go at it. Let's talk about the entrepreneur points first. So you're 22. You're helping people build their wealth, and just to start off again, how much money have you been making? I guess in 2022, would you say average per month?
Yeah, I'm averaging $60,000 a month right now. Income.
Ooh, $60,000 a month. Goddamn.
Just a little, right? It's so funny because, when I used to hear someone making $60,000 a month, in the back of my head, I'm like, who the hell are they robbing? Who the hell are they scamming? Right? But exactly.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know about you, but have you ever felt that way when you heard these big numbers? Ever felt like, wow, how does someone do that?
Oh, absolutely. No, those seem so huge. I mean, 100K, when you're growing up in your high school, oh my gosh, he makes 100K. They make 200K. Oh my gosh, they seem filthy rich. And then you start getting around people who make that, and you start making that yourself, you actually realize how much it isn't.
And even we, having this conversation, I mean, 60 grand a month's pretty good, but we know people make it a whole lot more than that.
Oh,
so
yeah, 100%.
It's perspective, you step into it. There's shoes that you grow into those numbers.
Yeah, definitely. And so, I guess we're making on average $60,000 a month now, but I know not so long ago, you weren't seeing that type of money, right? And so I guess how did this whole journey for you of entrepreneurship start? Like, how did you start helping people build their wealth?
Oof, that's an excellent question. My whole journey, I was making 20K a year. That's where I started. I was making 20K a year. I was living in student housing. I had 3 roommates. I was driving a Toyota Corolla, and that was my life. I was struggling, as one does in college most of the time. And I was so miserable. Like my journey was born of pain. I literally reached a point emotionally where everything internally, my emotional state was so full of unrest and so painful that I was like, okay, we got 2 options. We can opt out, or we can try and make life as just good as it can. And I can focus on things that I can control instead of these emotional things inside of me that I actually thought I couldn't control. So that's actually what made me want to start pursuing getting wealthy, retiring young, having passive income coming in so that I can not work and do whatever I want, that I can be free. And yeah, it was born of pain. And then along the way, I realized that to make more and more and more money, you got to help more people.
That's the thing about, and that's so important that you say that, because a lot of people think, entrepreneurs are just there to make money. But the reason, a lot of people have to understand, money is the last thing on our mind. The first thing on our minds is helping people, right? And so it's money's always an afterthought. It's the result of first serving the people and helping them, right? Would you agree?
Oh yeah, no, it's funny because once you're taken care of, once your needs are met, you're above surviving, you've got some excess, it loses its flavor. But once you see the light in people's eyes, when you see you provide a great service, a great value to them, it completely changes the game, because it's this light inside. It's this inner fulfillment that it's not addicting, because I don't want to say it's an addiction, but it truly is something that you just want to chase again and again and again. So that piece has been wildly fulfilling, and it is absolutely what I'm chasing.
So you're chasing
fulfillment. I'm chasing it.
The fulfillment of contributing to the world, right?
Oof.
Exactly.
That's a good one.
The fulfillment of contribution, right? So you went from making, and how long ago was this ago when you were making just $20,000 a month? Was this a year ago, 2 years ago?
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. So pandemic time?
Yeah. Just before the pandemic, I was, making about 20K a year.
20K a year. And then after that, what got you? I mean, you said pain got you to start, obviously, chasing financial freedom and financial security, right? Is there anything else aside from pain that got you to want to start? Is there anybody that influenced you, or is there anybody that you looked up to?
Okay, I'm gonna be straight up. Yeah, I was in an MLM.
It's okay to say that. We're entrepreneurs.
Is it? I feel like it's a dirty word. No.
No.
Well, I started to dream again. I started to realize that there was another way. Because growing up, especially in Utah, very religious, very conservative. My parents both had bachelor's degrees from the college that I went to for a couple of years. And there was this huge expectation. That's just what you do. Even if you never use it, it's just what you do. Whether that's trying to find a husband at college or just having the degree to say, hey, I accomplished something, before you go become just a bearer of children for the rest of your life. That's the culture.
Really? I'm going to have to stop you there.
Yeah.
Find a husband in college, really. That's the culture.
Is that not everywhere else? I mean, like, I know kind of it's not, but also a part of me is like, that's normal.
Okay, it's normal. I would say, like,
right? Is it?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on the culture for sure.
What do they do in Canada? I don't know what the expectations are in Canada. Okay.
I think it's more so. Well, I come from the Asian background, right? So I feel like, well, I'm not saying there's not Asians that get married young. There sure are. I know a lot of people, but I don't think it's ever been an expectation to, at least for our culture, to look for a marriage in college, right? I feel like for us, it's always been like, get your studies, get a good job, and then look for somebody. So maybe in like your 26, 27, right? But hey, I mean, like, aside from that, I mean, like, you're right. Going to school, we're taught that this is the only way to success, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's so crazy. Like you talked about, you said a very, very important word. You said perspective. You said perspective. And the thing is, when you're born and raised with a perspective that this is the only way you can make money, right? Like, you start to dream small. Well, at least when you get older and older and you start to realize, wait, money is not that easy to make, at least from the perspective of like going to school, getting a job, working for somebody, right? Money is not as easy to make, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, you basically, and it's almost like signing like a blood contract for your life. You know, the choice in college, it was so stressful. Maybe it's just in Utah, maybe it's elsewhere. I mean, I'm sure it's elsewhere, but it's prevalent. Yeah. Like, it seemed like, like a sentence, a life sentence of, okay, you get a degree in this is what you're going to do for work. And I mean, we know that's not even the case. I mean, most people aren't even using their degrees. I think it's half.
100%. What did you go to school for, by the way?
For writing.
For writing? Like, you wanted to be like a storyteller?
I wanted to be an essayist.
An essayist? I never heard that before.
I know. It's obscure.
An essayist. And what does an essayist do? They usually
write essays.
Write essays for a living?
Yeah, for a living. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Is I was trying to make my passion into a career.
Yeah.
And there was something inside me that just felt like that was so wrong, but I didn't know what. I didn't have the intuition or the belief in myself to trust that or investigate it.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of stopped because I couldn't allow myself to keep making decisions toward this path that internally I knew was wrong. And so I just stopped. And looking back, what I came to realize was that I was trying to make a passion into a career when really what I wanted was complete and utter freedom to pursue my passions. And that's why I pursued money, because money gives me the time and the freedom to be a passionate person and to live passionately. Yeah. So I flipped the script.
You flipped the script, and that's why you're here today, right? So you mentioned joining an MLM, and you said something. You said you started to dream again, right? And what caused you to start to dream? Was it seeing other people's success stories? Is that what caused it, or was there something else?
You know, it was the mindset training that I got. So this particular MLM, you know, you're in the meeting, and then there's a meeting every week. There's one big meeting a month, and then there's like one huge meeting a quarter. And the topic was actually the same every single time. Like, it was almost a script a script that they memorized and like said every single meeting. And I was impressed because I was like, that's a lot to memorize. But truly, there were so many nuggets in there. And really, the whole thing was just roasting the 9-to-5 system. That was the whole thing, was just taking shots at the lifestyle of 9-to-5 work. For instance, talking about how, you know, you get up at 7, you go to work, you know, you might do a workout before you go to work, you get home after traffic, maybe 6 p.m., maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour with the kids, husband wants an hour alone. Then it's dinner time. Then you guys watch Netflix in bed and then your day's over.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the living? Like, you only get leftovers of your life with a 9 to 5. So just like things like that just hit me so hard as to, this is capital T truth right here that I'm hearing. And after all that information and all that, awakening
And the truth.
I couldn't go back.
Hey, you know what they say? The truth will set you
Free,
The
baby.
truth will set you free, right? And that's what a lot of people, and that's the same thing with me. I feel like when I found out the truth, that like, wait, I think the biggest epiphany for me was when I heard the term passive income. I was like, wait, people can make money while they're sleeping? That's a real thing. I'm like, how can I get that for myself? How can I get that for myself? Right. And so I guess like when you hear of the word, when was the first time you heard of the word passive income? Was it through that network marketing company? Like you started to hear those words and I guess it started to really sink in.
Yeah. I think it was in the MLM. They had us read Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki.
Wait, can I guess the MLM?
Yes.
Is it Amway?
It's worldwide.
Oh,
okay. It's an MLM within an MLM. It's literally MLMception. Because they use Amway, but worldwide is its own MLM.
Okay.
But they leverage.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny. You know what? When I got recruited by Amway, I read the same book.
Really?
I read the same book. I can't even lie though. It's a good book. It's a good book.
It's a good book. No, of course it's a good book. It was written by Robert Kiyosaki. It's a great
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, but no, and that's genius, because what they did, right, was they took a very prominent, a very well-known, established entrepreneur who was backing exactly what they were doing and used that just as a total, initiation. Yeah. Which is genius and also true. I mean, really, they're doing people a service. They are helping people wake up to how you actually make money, and that's one method of doing it.
Yeah, that's one method of doing it for sure. And I feel like, honestly, I can't even lie. That was my first business book. Like that literally probably was. I'm thinking about it. Was it yours too? I
literally also think it was my first business book. So that was our baptism.
Yeah, that's our baptism. So if you're watching this, read Business in the 21st Century.
Read it.
Read the book. No affiliate.
Go to the meetings.
And let us know how it is.
Oh my gosh.
So in terms of obviously the mindset training inside of the company, and also like I did mention, like, was there a particular person you looked up to? Was it probably the head of that company, or was it somebody else that you were looking up to, or just everybody inside of the organization?
Yeah, you know what? There wasn't anyone I necessarily like connected with super personally, but I do remember going to the meetings and seeing these people on stage giving their speech and just knowing, oh, I can do that. Like that's me up there in X amount of years. That was my exact thought. Like I wasn't connecting with anyone on a personal level. What I was connecting with was the fact that these people are capturing the attention of this entire room, who are very into this message, clapping, cheering, just screaming for this message that I also love and believe in. And I'm like, I want that. I want to be there. I want to like speak truth to masses of people. That's what was electric for me.
Okay. So you're envisioning yourself like, man, this is what I want to do. I want to start a movement and inspire the masses and help change people's lives, right?
Oh, absolutely. It honestly woke myself up. It woke me up to the knowledge that was an option, and I realized in that moment, There wasn't a huge difference between me and them, except for they had the track record. They had the success under their belt. But, you know, they weren't these wildly eloquent people. Not that they need to be, because they inspired masses without that.
Yeah.
And just the fact that they had the confidence and the track record and had a stage, that's all they needed to literally help change people's lives. And I was like, holy shit, there's no difference between me and them except that. Like, that can be a reality.
Yeah, that can be a reality if you choose it to be a reality. But most people, obviously, they don't, which is kind of sad to say the least, because like people have passions, people have dreams. And this is what I always tell people. You have to. So most people, let me know what you think about this. This is what I say. Yeah. Most people, this is their dreams, right? Their dreams are this big. It's huge, but this is their income. So what they do is they shrink their dreams to fit their income a lot of the time. And I feel, I don't know. What do you feel about that? Does that sound?
Oh, can I add? Can I add to it?
Go ahead, add to it.
I'm gonna add. Their fear swallows all of it. Right?
Yeah.
That's what they do. Even the people who have technically the money to start ventures. I run into people, they've got like $100,000 to invest. They haven't done anything. And I'm like, what? Because they're afraid. Because they're so afraid, you know, like how easy is it really truly to just start posting on social media and garner a following because you're just posting organic content? Honestly, if you're posting 1 to 2 times a day, it's going to grow as long as you're not like a total fraud and people see right through that. You will grow. And what stops people? The fact that they have to put themselves out there, the fear of what people say. But you're completely right. The income too. Like, I have met so many people who are powerhouses, but they're settling for 60, 70K a year, and it's killing their dreams.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's just so crazy to think that, like, you know, like from when we didn't have the perspective that we have today, we had a perspective that was, you know, was very scarcity mindset in a way. You can say it like that. Absolutely. Where, you know, we felt like there was always a ceiling on our head. All right. And then to now, like, seeing like, well, there is no ceiling. Right. And so I guess well, you kind of already answered the question. That switch was really just seeing these people on the stages and seeing how they're moving the masses. And you're like, I could do that myself. Right. I could do that myself. But you did mention fear. At any point in this journey, did you feel fear?
Oh my gosh. Constantly confronted with it.
Okay. I knew the answer.
When do you feel fear, Rowell? Oh gosh. Yeah, no. It's so crazy. Cause yeah, as soon as you were talking, I was like, that clicked in my mind of like, there was a switch that turned on, but I had to nurture that. And I had to literally beat away everything that came for that flame, that came for that light, because shit came for it. My trauma, my insecurities, my fears, my self-doubt came with a bat, with many bats, to beat the shit out of that light until it goes out. Seriously. So like, there was a switch, and then there was a war for my dream. Like, I was initiated to the fact that, oh my gosh, I got to go to war. Or no, I got to pursue my dreams. And then the war came to me from within. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to battle all the shit that came up because of the choice to move forward and to pursue something different.
And so
I think that's what people don't expect.
Yeah, that's true. And so, like, how did you overcome these fears? Was it like surrounding yourself with people, or was it like reading a book that got you over the fear? Or what was it really that helped you get over the insecurities and the doubts and all those type of stuff?
Yeah. Wow. A lot. No, seriously, it wasn't just necessarily any one thing. It was a million little things.
Yeah. So a million little things, such as like
books for sure. Getting like changing my network, like getting around people who are also pursuing these things, people who had like-minded ideas. Mentors was a huge one. You know, people I could lean on to help me personally, but also who had the results and had done it themselves, that I could, you know, say, hey, this is how I'm feeling. And they're like, I've been there, or that's totally valid. And it does not invalidate you for this journey. You know, it doesn't make you unworthy of the journey. You know, the fact that you are feeling self-doubt, that you are feeling fear and a lack of resource, that you know, that you get sad and depressed sometimes. That's been huge. And then also like finding ways to deal with the trauma within and change.
So finding ways such as like, what did you do to help with the trauma and like the insecurity? I know it's a lot, but what would you say is like I know it's a lot, but like, what would you say is like very, very impactful? You like, you know, you went, maybe it was a seminar you went to, or I don't know what it was, but like, what do you think? Like, what was that thing that got you? I know I'm putting you on the spot, but it's okay.
Yeah. You know what? Okay. I'm just gonna say it. Yeah. I did a lot of energy work.
I see it a lot. Energy work? Yeah. Actually, you know what? I've never done energy work. So like, explain to me. I think I have an idea of it because I see your Instagram stories and I see your posts, but enlighten me, Noelle.
Okay. Okay.
She's
well, like, okay, honestly, I feel so, yeah, I do. And then here's a, I'm gonna get over this one right now.
Yeah.
Thought was, I feel unqualified to talk about it, you know, because I'm not a practitioner. I don't have that gift necessarily, but I'll do my best to sum it up. So there's a lot of different modalities, but essentially the thoughts behind energy work are that there are traumas and emotions that are trapped inside your body that cause turmoil with your mind and your spirit, but then also physically manifest, that will continue unless you're able to energetically clear them. Right. So, you know, everything has an energy, everything emits a vibration. Like there are things that are literally, you know, reverberating within your body. And so, you know, the idea with a couple of the women that I work with, they work with the subconscious, right? So how do you talk to the subconscious? You know, it's
subconscious.
Exactly. And so, you know, they do muscle testing. So essentially they ask your body questions, and, you know, if it's a no, then it goes down. And if it's yes, it stays still. And your body communicates and lets them know, hey, this is what's happening. It's incredible to witness and to watch. So again, that's one method, but it's been fascinating because I've been doing this healing work, you know, or receiving this healing work. And then I've started to understand the science behind it, the science of the numbers may not be perfect, but essentially 2% of your DNA is, you know, what you look like, you know, all of the physical attributes that we see. And the 98% scientists just thought was junk. But new information suggests that 98% is learned patterns and traumas generationally, right? We're like a cat, you know, will jump if there's a loud noise. Well, where did that originate? Maybe 11 cats ago, generationally, a predator came out and there was a loud noise and emitted a loud noise. And so there's that trigger response that's passed down.
Wow. So like
in our DNA.
But what I'm hearing is that a lot of the things, a lot of the subconscious is passed down from generation to generation. That's what I'm hearing. Right.
Yes. But then of course, also whatever happens in our lives, you know, in childhood, especially because, you know, in childhood, I don't remember exactly what it is, but we're either in a theta or an alpha state where our mind is so susceptible and takes in everything as truth. even if it's not, that like if our mother or father yells at us and says, I'm so disappointed in you, truth right in your brain and resides. And you think, oh no, I love my dad. My dad loves me. But subconsciously there's a belief, no, he's disappointed in you. And then you act accordingly. So there are these things that are within our subconscious, within our body, that are living and literally inhibiting us. And that's why we, literally sometimes can't get out of bed for 2 days, why we have a hard time doing certain things. I used to dissociate for hours. Literally, dissociation essentially means your mind goes like elsewhere. You like zone out.
Yeah.
Sometimes like 2-3 hours at night where I would and then I look at the time and I'm like, oh my God, where am I?
Girl went to another universe. She went to the metaverse.
I went to the metaverse. But actually it's so crazy because, Rowell, like I've done a lot of healing.
Yeah.
But it's really been within the past 2 years that it's really started to make a difference. And so as I'm going through this journey of like making more money and learning all this financial information, I've still got this shit that I'm carrying around. And I still have days where I think, what's the point? What's the point of being on earth? Why be here? Why participate? And these are the thoughts. And then the second thought is, wait a second, like this success is coming and you're helping people and there's so much that you can do. But internally my soul said, who fucking cares? And I had the hardest time understanding what to do with that. And the only thing that I could do, or that did help, was having an amazing experience actually at a retreat of trauma release through breathwork.
Sounds familiar.
That was, that we were on that retreat together. And it flipped the switch for me. Wow. It literally did. Like all the stuff that I've done, all the success couldn't change the fact that internally my soul didn't want to be here on earth. Mm-hmm. But having that transformative healing experience changed that for me to where the new thought, the new belief was, I signed up for this life enthusiastically, knowing all the pain that I would experience.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
Yeah.
It won't blow my mind. Honestly.
Is this all new for you? Am I just like unleashing just Pandora's box of information?
Yeah, because like the thing is like I've like the details you gave me into like energy work and all the trauma and the subconscious and the generational passing down of these traumas. I feel like I've like heard about it. I just never really like went into detail or maybe paid attention into detail. Not as much as I'm listening to you right now. So would you say the retreat we went to, would that be a form of energy work? Or kinda?
I think yes. I think the somatic breathing that we did is kind of a form of that, and even if they're not similar modalities, which I think they are, they're accomplishing the same end, which is releasing stored trauma from the body and from the subconscious. So they're both meeting the same goal.
Yeah. And so just to reiterate, like to become successful, like why, for the people listening, like why is it important to do some energy work, to do some breath work? Like why would you say it's so beneficial?
It comes down to identity. Truly, like you can't step into a space of abundance of having things you've never had or being a person you've never been unless your mind gets there first. Your mind has to settle in to the new person you are, to the new things you have, to the new lifestyle, to the new application, whatever it is, before you can obtain it. And if you can't do that and sustain the identity, you can't have it. Like a lot of people can think for a second, oh yeah, I see myself as a wealthy person. I see myself in my mansion, they're doing visualizations or whatever. But 2 hours later, internally, subconsciously, something happens, something happens in family, something happens at work. And internally their mind starts going, you're a piece of shit. You're a dumbass. You don't know what you're doing. Look at you. You don't deserve shit. And so that doesn't match the new identity. That doesn't match what they're trying to achieve. And so their body and their actions, their subconscious will only accomplish what it believes to be true. And if for 2 minutes you do visualizations and then the rest of the day, that's your inner dialogue, that is your life. That is what you're creating.
That's freaking crazy. And I talk about identity all the time. And, I talk about the subconscious too, but man, that's super detailed. And like, honestly, I need you to go teach this to my students. Whatever you just said, hope you memorized it, because I need you to tell my students exactly what exactly identity means to you. But it's so true, right? Because like before anything happens in reality, it must start up here. Right. Yeah. It must start up here. Like I always tell people, before Facebook became Facebook, it started in Mark Zuckerberg's head. Before Tesla became Tesla, it started in Elon Musk's head. Mm-hmm. Right. Before anything becomes a reality, it always has to start up in here in this noggin of ours. And the thing is like it's your choice to let in things that empower you, beliefs that empower you to become successful. And it is also your choice to allow beliefs that disempower you. It's also your choice to allow negativity around you. And so at the end of the day, like, would you say it's a choice to become successful or not?
Yes. And yes. And you have programming. You have programming, yes, that's been passed down, and also from childhood and from every interaction you've ever had. It's reinforcing thoughts or creating new ones. So if you're surrounding yourself with people who are doing fuck all with their lives and talking about it and only talking about the glory days and talking about how life sucks and their boss sucks and whatever, you're reinforcing those thoughts. You're reinforcing those patterns. And so that's a choice, who you surround yourself with, right? Those things that you can control, but also when you're alone. When you're alone and you're doing your meditation and you're reading and you're going out there, you're making sales calls, you're setting appointments, whatever you're doing to build and to better yourself. When you're alone and those thoughts come in, it's like, what are you doing? This isn't you. You're not good enough for this. Oh, you think you can sustain this? Yeah, give it a week. You quit in a week. Those inner thoughts that come in, that's programming. And so choice is a big piece, but also acknowledging and learning to acknowledge the stuff that's coming up is huge. Like you can't bring in all the new furniture until you've cleaned the house and done some renovations. Facts. Yeah. Right? I mean, the new furniture is gorgeous. It's going to make it look better. But if it's a fucking dump, whoops, you can't do that. You can't do that. No, you can't. So then, also, Rowell, are we good here? Are we good on the, I'm pulling out some big boy words. No,
we're good. We're good. Keep going. Keep going. I'm just listening. I'm just a student.
Came to school. You didn't know, but you came to school today. Yeah. So that's the biggest thing. So yes, choice is huge, but there are programs, there's programming, and you have to recognize it, because those aren't just throwaway thoughts. Like your thoughts matter. I think that's where people get off. They think that they can just continue to think and let thoughts in how they always have and just do the work and success will come. Yeah. But your mind will send alarms to your body. It will make you nauseous. It will make your heart race. It will give you anxiety. It will give you depression. It will do everything it can physically to get you to stop doing what you're doing, because your body doesn't want change. Your body doesn't want to elevate. It wants to stay in survival mode, and it wants to stay in comfort.
100%.
And so in order to get past that, you can't just bury those feelings. Although a lot of people try, a lot of men are really good at this.
Yeah.
You need to address them. No, truly. And honestly, I do think that's a reason there are more male non-entrepreneurs than female entrepreneurs, because women have a harder time stuffing down the feelings and just doing the fucking work. And they don't have to. You don't have to stuff it all down and just do the fucking work and just get up at 5 a.m. and just grind. Is that a way? Sure. Is it the only way? Hell no. Is it the best way? Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
No, for me, for women, for humanity, the best way through success is healing and elevating as you go, not ignoring your body and your emotions to get there.
That's so powerful. So like first step is like obviously acknowledging those feelings coming through, right? Mm-hmm. And now after the acknowledgement though, what would you say is the next step? Like actually doing the energy work to like releasing those traumas?
Yeah. There's so much you can do. There really is. There's breath work. There's something very special that happens when you breathe specific ways. Like there's literally a man, right? Wim Hof. I don't know his first name.
Our boy Wim Hof.
our homie. He's got his number. We don't have his number. Wim Hof, literally on Mount Everest in boxer shorts because of the way he's breathing. He is in sub-zero temperatures. And he can exist there because he is tapped into a power that most of us have no idea that we possess. Mm-hmm. And we access it through something as simple as changing the way we breathe.
Mm-hmm. So,
I mean, what does that tell you about our power?
We're freaking superhumans.
We are superhuman.
Yeah, we are. We signed up for it.
Good.
Yeah. And so like breathing is one way. And so I feel like meditation is this breath work that goes to meditation, but how would you define meditation? Is it more so like focusing, or like, what would you say meditation is?
You know, there's different ways to meditate. Like you can meditate with intention, and have thoughts that you want to ponder, or you can, I guess, truly meditate, which is kind of the basis, which is actually just clearing your mind. And being present, right? Stepping into presence, which helps you connect with yourself. And also, how am I actually feeling? What is happening in my body? What is my body trying to tell me? And I'm just, disconnecting to, like, it's helping you come back to this being that is not simply a flesh suit for our robot, but is a part of us and something that we can use to absolutely change the game. People like biohacking is really big right now, or getting big. And that understanding of how to hack your body, or how to, really step into the practices that optimize yourself, but also honoring it. Optimizing doesn't mean making the horse run as fast as it can and do as many races as it can and feeding it all the stuff so that it can be the best horse ever. It's also like honoring that horse, not just like using it and squeezing out every drop you can until it perishes, but taking care of it. It's like Wagyu steak. Okay. You know what they do?
What do they do, Noelle?
Make Wagyu steak.
What do they do, Noelle? Tell us.
No, do you know?
Don't know. You don't know?
Oh, it's okay.
Okay. I'm here to get educated.
Yeah. Okay. You know Wagyu steak though.
I know Wagyu. I know what Wagyu steak is. It's like the premium Japanese like steak, right?
Listen, Wagyu steak is the best steak.
It's the best steak. Okay.
I'm not pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's like top tier.
It's top tier. Yeah, it's top tier. I know
on
that.
The planet.
Yeah.
Okay. A5 Wagyu, right? Wagyu steak is created. It's comes from Japan. They massage the cows daily. They feed the cows premium feed, whatever, grass. I don't know what they feed cows. They literally play classical music for these cows.
For the cows, really?
For the cows. They live a luxurious lifestyle. And then when I'm pretty sure they're slaughtered very, very humanely. And then what happens as a result is the meat is the best meat ever, because those cows have not been optimized to the point of we're getting as many cows in and getting like all the meat we can because we slice it this specific way. It's not about optimization. It's about honoring the cows and honoring the meat. And in doing so, you get the best piece of meat you will ever taste. Mm-hmm. And there is the lesson.
And that is Chef Noelle for you.
Listen, it's about pleasure. Okay. It's about pleasure.
So then when it comes to, would you say like, when it comes to like meditation, right? And being present, would you also include like how about, you talked about like honoring the cow, right? Would you say like a lot of us, like, no, I don't want to use the word lack, but we don't honor ourselves enough. We don't step into that zone of gratitude, right?
I'm taking a breath for that one. Wow. I felt that when you said we don't honor ourselves. Mm-hmm. That was huge. That is huge. And you're correct. Feminine rage comes up for me with that.
And why so?
Because it's a high frequency. It is a powerful, powerful thing to let that out, right? Honoring ourselves does not mean optimizing ourselves. It does not mean getting ourselves to perform to the best it possibly can, the best we can. It's about letting us as humans do what we were meant to do, which is to feel and to work through our shit and our emotions and be seen and be heard without shame. That's where your power comes from. Like, not even just feminine rage, male rage, appropriately, but truly like letting men feel anger and express it appropriately, and letting them feel anguish and express it appropriately, and letting them feel triumph and express it appropriately. And when I say appropriately, I don't mean appropriately by society standards. I mean, don't hurt someone, right? That's what I mean. You get to do whatever you need to the fullest extent, as long as you're not hurting someone. Mm-hmm. Or just being an absolute shithead. Don't go like vandalize shit, like don't do that.
Yes. So a big part of success is like just the feeling you said, like just being there and allowing yourself to express all these different types of emotions, right?
Yeah. There's an inner power and inner confidence that is magnified when you allow yourself to do that, when you allow yourself to go there. And especially if you can surround yourself with other people who will let you and honor you there as well. That's huge. Because what happens? Yeah. Oh yeah,
for sure. Because like, again, we've heard this before, and it's a cliche, but like you're literally the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. Maybe not even 5, just in general, the people you surround yourself with, you become the average of those individuals. That's why it's so key to put yourself in a community with a peer group of individuals that are not just chasing success, but chasing like how just like personal development, personal growth. Yes. Right? It's not just about the money, right?
Yeah.
Like, and even though like you make a lot of money, and also myself, we both make a lot of money, and maybe sometimes people might view us as just people who are just like, they're just in it for the money. Like it's not even that. It's not even that.
what do you have to say about success and like reaching your full potential? How important is that to you? Not necessarily optimize, like you said, like not necessarily optimizing yourself to like work your hardest every single day. But when I say full potential, what comes into your mind?
What a great question, Rowell. Damn. Wow. Full potential for me means like having the fullest human experience possible.
The fullest human experience.
Seriously.
So that includes feeling. And what else would that include?
Yes, it does. Oof. It includes giving yourself massive permission to follow your every desire. Again, as long as you're not hurting people, follow your pleasure. Like this is my rule, my golden rule. If you're a good person, if you truly feel bad when you hurt other people, so you have an appropriate amount of empathy in place, and you most of the time seek to do good things and to leave things better than you found it, you put the shopping cart away, follow your pleasure. Because your pleasure and your desires are going to lead you to great things. Like one of the biggest lies we've ever been told is that pleasure and success and wealth, these are all selfish endeavors. Because when you give, it's so true. When you give a wealthy, a successful, a good person power, when you give them wealth,
they're going to do good things.
They're going to do good things.
Yeah.
They're going to, and not even that, they will radiate the power they exude. They freely give away their tips and tricks and secrets. They are willing to help other people elevate.
Woo, this girl's going off. That is so.
It's the energy, Rowell. It's the energy.
Right. And so it's so cool like to say that, because, you know, me and my company and my mission is I want to help people make more to give more. And there's a 3-step process that I tell people. I want to help people make more to give more first for themselves, because you can't give what you don't have, right? And then I want to help people make more to give more so that they can help their loved ones, their friends, and their family, right? And then once you've helped yourself, and once you help your friends and your family, like I know humans are good people. And I know once those two are taken care of, the natural focus that they want to help people now with is just the world, right? And so what do you think about like making more to give more? Are you an individual who believes like, you know, because, and I know, and we're not saying this for anybody watching, we're not saying that, you know, we're good people, and we're not saying that just to like sound like what's the word? Sound like egotistic or nothing like that, right? I think everybody's a good person, right? Deep down, right? Obviously there's some shit that goes on, like you mentioned, in people's childhoods or like trauma passed down that causes people to make bad decisions. So we're not saying we've never made bad decisions, right? But we know
we're gods.
We're gods, right? But the thing is, like, I truly believe if money is in the hands of people who have good intention, the world will be a better place. And that's why I know myself, I know I'm a good person, and I know you're a good person. That's why, if anything, I want to support you, right? I want to support anybody wanting to chase wealth to make more money, because I know they're going to do good for the world, because I know people are good deep down inside, right?
I felt all of that. I felt all of that. And everything you're saying, Rowell, is so correct. Like, here's the thing. When people are happy and taken care of, that is the natural next step. It's almost like, you know, we got Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Once one need is met, you elevate to the next place, right?
Yeah.
And like what the top is like self-actualization or something. But like also what happens is it's like a cup spilling over, right? So at the very top, you've got this little cup, and that's you. It's a single person. You fill that up and it starts flowing into the second one, right? Which is bigger. And that's your circle. That's your family. That's your connections. That starts to fill up, and then it pours down into the next one. That is the reactionary response. It is the natural order of things. The problem is there's so many people in survival mode, in fight or flight, in I can't help you because I can't even keep my head above water. So don't lean on me or else I'll drown. And they're throwing elbows. They don't believe that that's the case, that kind of abundance and magnetic and flowing and abundant kind of lifestyle is available, because they've hardly ever seen it, if they have ever seen it.
Yeah.
That's the first step for me. For me, my entire focus right now is just letting people know it's available. It's available and it's attainable and it can be yours. And then also, here's how.
And here's how to do it. Message Noelle Evans. So Noelle, honestly, like I really truly appreciate your time. And we're just about to end this podcast. But before we end it and before you go, right? What's one thing, if there was one thing, like, there's a lot of people watching this that are probably, going to start this journey of entrepreneurship. Because I'm sure if they watch and listen to this, you're going to inspire them and they're going to want to obviously like get started turning their passion into profits and actually, like chasing that full potential within themselves. Right. But obviously they're going to go through some roadblocks and there's going to be a lot of up and downs. And what would you say is your biggest advice for people just starting out, chasing their dreams and their passion and chasing the pleasure and desire? What would you say your biggest advice to these people are? Got to think about it.
Hold the vision. Hold the vision. Hold it close. Do whatever you have to do to reinforce it. Put it on your wall. Put it in your wallet. Put it wherever you're going to see it all the time. Find people you trust, truly trust, to tell good news to. Talk to them about it. Voice your fears, voice your concerns, let yourself feel them. Take a deep breath. Remember the vision. Remember it's possible. Go back to what originally told you it's possible. Keep seeking knowledge that's going to help you. And just keep going.
You just gave them a whole playbook.
I really did. I looked right at that camera and said, I'm talking to you baby girl, and you, sir. Exactly it. And oh my gosh, Rowell, I have to say this. Listen, like I felt your energy on this call very strongly. Like, especially when you were talking about your vision and what you want to do in this world and your healthy, divine, masculine role, like that energy to protect and to serve and to provide, not just for yourself and your circle and your family, but for all people who are willing to step into that space. I felt all of that. And it is powerful when you come from that space, right? People feel that. People know exactly who you are and where you're coming from and your intentions when you talk like that. And when you allow what the real reason, the real why to come out. So, man, thank you for bringing that here.
Yeah.
And just your questions. My gosh.
Yeah. And thank you for your like outstanding energy. Like, honestly, like I said, anybody watching this, like truly, they will be inspired and they truly will change people's lives. And, you're so young. And obviously, we're both so young. We're in our 20s.
Yeah,
we're in our 20s, right? We're still trying to figure things out. We've achieved success. Yeah. And honestly, anybody like listening to this call, right? Well, why we talk so much about like identity and breathwork and energy, because literally that's the first step, right? That it's like, I can't stress enough. That's the first step. And most people don't put in that work in themselves. And that's why they can never get that output of success that they really want. And like, myself, I've invested a lot of money in personal development, and so has Noelle. So Noelle, again, I just wanted to say thank you so much. And for those interested in maybe wanting to connect with you, and maybe even wanting to reach out with you, reach out to you, where is the best place that they can reach out to?
Yeah. So my Instagram, my DMs are open. I take requests all the time. You know, people who are looking for encouragement, looking for next steps, whatever you're looking for, or even just frankly, inspiration to, again, hold the vision. So Noelle.Evans, Noelle. That's me. Noelle. So that's where you can find me.
There you go. A duo right here, Noelle and Rowell. Signing out.
Time. It was meant to be.
Signing out. Thank you, everybody, for watching the podcast. Still don't know the name of the podcast, but it's okay because we're out here taking imperfect action every single day so we can change our lives, change our families' lives, change our friends' lives, and inevitably change the world. Thank you so much and have a good one.